Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdson, a World Alternative Media here, and of course we're joined by author and economic analyst here at WAM, John Sneisen. Now we got a bit of a funny report for you today because a little freedom-fighting prankster at the Federal Reserve has just been fired for a little bit of fun. And John, can you go into what happened?
You know, I think this is probably the best article I read in a long time. It was what has happened at the Federal Reserve Board is that you have had Bitcoin mining behind enemy lines. So this guy, his name is Nicholas Berthaume. What he did is he actually installed software on the computers of the Federal Reserve. And what he did, he started mining actually through the processing power of the Federal Reserve's computers. And he earned Bitcoins.
For several years.
Yeah, exactly. He did this between March 2012 to June 2014. And he must have earned a decent amount of Bitcoins. But of course, they can't track him because Bitcoin isn't as trackable as your fiat paper that you guys are printing en masse with the Federal Reserve notes. So
I'm just trying to think of anything that's not centrally planned happening inside the Federal Reserve, and it's just boggling to me. But hey, you know what? This is an interesting story. We should really try and get a hold of this guy.
I think I would love to have an interview with this guy. It would be very interesting to hear his story and how he actually started to do this. I think it's a rebellion, to be honest with you. I hope so.
I hope.
It would be really great. But this is, of course, they want to cramp down on this terrible behavior. Which, of course, what they're doing is he's sentenced to 12 months probation, and he was fined $5,000 for installing unauthorized software on the Federal Reserve's server.
You know what's funny is he probably made more money on the Bitcoin than he has to pay in the fine anyway. So
hey, yeah,
just think about it. I mean, if he's a Federal Reserve employee, he's probably making a decent salary, to say the least. I mean, they're literally growing money off trees over there.
Yeah, no, totally is, and I don't know if there's too much more to say about it. I just think it's just funny and hilarious that these things are going on. This guy's a genius. I think it's the best prank ever pulled on the Federal Reserve in itself.
And I really think that we should just put an educational angle to this, finishing it off. Yeah. So what the Federal Reserve does, for those that still don't know, is that they create currency out of thin air, creating debt, devaluation, inflation. And what that does, inflation's a hidden tax. It affects everybody, and this currency is completely worthless, and it'll always revert to its natural value of zero. That's what fiat money has done, or currency, because money has to have a store of value, currency doesn't. And it's been going on for about 1,000 years, technically, what the Federal Reserve is doing since 1024 AD in China. But what the Federal Reserve has done, I mean, they overprinted gold standard notes back from 1913 to the beginning of the 1970s, and they just printed a whole bunch and more than they actually had, creating debt, devaluation, inflation. And what has happened since then is then they created the fiat model.
They had to revalue the exchange rate of the gold versus like how much was backed.
So crazy quantitative easing and currency devaluation. And what this central planning, what it really does is it enslaves individuals in debt and puts them further in servitude to the state and the monetary system. And it's going on at a global scale. Almost every country has this kind of plague, I would put it. And what we really need to do is we need to free ourselves from the centralized monetary system. We have to free the markets. We need computing currencies, and we need to be able to free ourselves and have voluntary interactions between free individuals, because what the Federal Reserve is doing is criminal. It's hurting every individual, and we need to pull out of this, because this has been going on since 1913 with the Federal Reserve. And it's just the fact that, you know, over hundreds of times fiat crashes have happened, and no one learns from it, and it's really sad. But I just wanted to put that educational angle on this video because it's pointless otherwise. But go ahead, John.
I'm just going to say something funny. I know it's probably illegal to say this, but of course, this is just an opinion. I'm not saying that anybody should do this, but this would be a funny joke. It's time to steal the processing power from the government and mine Bitcoin.
They won't even be able to track it.
Everybody do what Mr. Berthaume did. Let's all government employees start mining Bitcoin and creating...
That's his opinion. Hey, don't break down my door. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll be back at you with much more, and everything's always developing on a daily basis. Being in the news business is difficult but easy at the same time because there's no shortage of news ever, and we will be back at you with much more. Check the links below, GoFundMe, Patreon. We can't do it without you. Any donation is very much appreciated. And, of course, check our link in the description and the comments for Anarchapulco, where you can save 10% on your tickets to Anarchapulco by typing in promo code WAM. That's WAM. We'll see you next time. I'm sure we'll have something funny in the near future. This is Josh Sigurdson and John Sneisen signing out from World Alternative Media. Find the truth, be the change.